Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Trish, and you're at Trish's Creative Treasures. How are y'all doing today? It is, Thursday, the 26th. I can figure that in my head. But, this here is just going to be a catch-up video, some chitty chats, about what's been going on the past week. A little bit of a show of just a few little things, because then my few little things are going to go into my Everything Granny's video. But this week I have survived the first ablation on the right hand side of my spine, lower back. If you don't know what that is, that's where they go in with probes and they actually burn the nerve endings. It really wasn't bad at all. I was kind of a little ahead of time, but they had told me from the beginning when I got in the office, they said that getting it actually the procedure done hurts less than getting the practice rounds done, because they make you get 2 procedures done prior with just some like a lidocaine or novocaine that they put in the nerve, and if it deadens everything, then the procedure will be a success. I don't know, it's just what my doctor told me. So they also told me when we were getting prepped that I would not have any pain relief right off the start. That the best way they said to describe it, it is like a wilting flower. A flower that hasn't been watered and has a lot of sun on it, within a day or a week, just dies off till it's just dead. So she said it can take up to a week, sometimes 2 weeks, depending on the person, of that, the nerves dying off. Well, let me tell you what, I feel great. My pain level is half of what it was, and it's at a tolerable pain level. The way it was starting before Christmas, I couldn't put any weight on my right leg. That just, whatever was, nerve, I don't know if it's a sciatic nerve, if it's there's so many different, I want to say it was sciatica, but I don't know. But anyways, when I was in there, oh my gosh, they put the probes in, but before they start cooking them nerves, they do like a test run, and it felt like I had a TENS unit in my butt cheek, because it was like my butt cheek was closed, and it was deep in there. It wasn't like when I have a TENS unit on my back and I can feel it just like the top part, This was deep in there, like I felt it deep in my gluteus maximus. And it was just twitching, and I'm like, yeah, I could feel that. So that said he needed to put more of the numbing stuff in there. Oh my God. That hurt! Because he like literally numbed my whole inner butt cheek. I know, butt cheek. TMI. But heck, we're all friends here, right? I have always been one of them people that always give TMI, because that's just how I am. I don't know how to be any different. I've always been one of them very brutally honest people that if I have something to say, it comes out. If it hits my brain, it comes out my mouth. Let's just put it that way. And sometimes it comes out my mouth before I even knew it hit my brain. But anyways, once he was doing, kept doing the test again after he put that deep bit of the numbing stuff in, I had no feeling at all. So they did the cooking thing, and it was like a 5-minute thing of cooking, and he's like, all right, we're done. And I'm like, seriously? So then I always have the same nurse lady in there, and she's always so sweet. She's like, all right, honey, I'm gonna put the band-aids on. You know the deal. No heat, no heating pad, no showering. If your car seats are heated, don't turn them on, and leave the band-aids on for 24 hours. So, usually I have all these band-aids on, but luckily today was just 3 holes. Normally I get 6, but today was 3. But when I took the band-aids off yesterday after the 24 hours, I guess you do bleed a bit after that, because the pads of them had a bit of blood on them. I was like, oh wow. But I, for the first time in a very long time, I feel hope. I feel optimistic. I feel there's going to be light at the end of this dark tunnel of horrific pain I've been in. Now, granted, My legs still are giving me a massive issue, but that's also between the fibromyalgia and the Lyme disease. Pardon me, I'm just like phlegmy today, I guess. It's just that post-nasal stuff. But anyways, like I said, I still have the leg pain, but the Vicodin does help with that to a certain degree. But what actually takes away that feeling, because what I get in my legs is pretty much the fibromyalgia. And my mom always used to say, I wonder if you have neuropathy. And I'm not diabetic. You know, they do check me for that often. And I've never been diabetic. I was never even pre-diabetic. I know I struck that lucky because sugar was my drug of choice. You know, I didn't need anything else. Just give me something full of sugar. And when I was stressed out and I would eat something sugar, it was just like, oh, it was just like this bit of like overwhelmingly, okay, I feel better now because I ate that sugar. So, I forget what I was telling you that for. It's awful, like having a brain, you know, with the Lyme disease in there. But, oh, the leg pain, yeah. So what I do use, of course, as I'm always open and honest with you guys, is I do use medical marijuana. So amongst using that, it instantly takes the leg pain away, and it's just like, wow. Now, usually about half an hour to an hour, I need to use more because it does come back. But the really bad leg pain only hits me at night. And like with the way that I feel it in my back right now on the right hand side is just the beginning, and it's going to get even better within like 2 weeks. Hello. And then that's where I'm going to go February 7th, and I'm going to get the left side done. So I am like crossing my fingers. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm just like, please, you know, to those up in the universe that hear me, to my goddess, please let me be able to move again. Like, I know the hip pain's going to hinder me a bit, but the worst of like the back pain, the nerve pain and everything from all the bulging discs that I have is gone. It's gone. So it's like, I am hoping, like, I've never been so excited to think, maybe I can wash the freaking dishes, you know? Maybe I could do some laundry. I know I won't be able to bend because even sitting like this, that's about as far as my hips will let me go. You know, my hips are that bad, and then to just move that little bit, you can feel it. It's like a toggle, you know, click, 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 click. That's what I feel, and each click is very painful because the right side, the shot I got in my hip, that's totally gone. Like, I have mega pain in my right hip all the time. My left hip is still, it's still doing okay from the shot. It's not 100% where it was, but it's about like 80%. So I'm not complaining about my left hip. This right one, on the other hand, is the worst one. I mean, it's what started deteriorating first. So, you know, I can't get another shot for a while, and if it's not really going to help for very long, is it very much so worth it? Well, yeah, I would say, you know, I think I got that shot in August, for now to be almost February, but it's been out since like November, December. But anyways, yeah, that's my story for the week. I've been doing you know how I go through like my insomnia phases and I can't sleep, and I'll do it for weeks where I just get a little bit of sleep. Well, I was going through that for a while, and I just think the past week or two, I'm going through like, I can't get enough sleep, but I'm still not sleeping, if you understand what I mean. I'm still not able to sleep, but instead of feeling wired and like so full of energy, I'm just drained. Now, I did start taking gabapentin again for the nerve pain in my legs. So, I don't know if the real sleepies that I can't keep my eyes open. I mean, I keep doing the head nods. I'm that tired. Like, I'm trying to crochet. I've been trying to get stuff done to show you guys so I can do tutorials on it for you, but I just can't stay awake long enough to do it. So, needless to say, I think I'm going back to that phase because I have not slept. I didn't sleep at all last night. and I'm up since pretty early yesterday morning, and I'm wide awake, you know, like I'm not tired one bit, and it's like, okay, now we're gonna go back to the, I'm just not gonna sleep at all, maybe a little cat nap here or there. I just wish I could sleep a full night. And I know everyone says take this like sleep medication or whatever, but I take so much heavy duty medication at night that first off, it would knock out anybody normal. I mean, but I've been taking it for like 10 years, so I'm used to it. I'm immune to it, but putting the gabapentin back in with my opiates and the muscle relaxers, you know, and I take Cymbalta not for the mental health part, but for the fibromyalgia, because Cymbalta is one of the medications they use for fibromyalgia. So I take the highest dose that you can take with that, and I've been taking that for 5 years now, and it still works great. Because I used to always say that I didn't think the gabapentin did anything, because I always had such pain in my legs. But then I would say, I don't want to know what it's like without the gabapentin. So I went through like weeks and weeks and weeks and months of really bad like nerve pain in my legs. That was one part of not being able to sleep, is the pain was so bad. But the gabapentin, as soon as I started taking again, started taking the nerve pain down, where I'm only really getting it at night, and at night then I can use my little THC puffer pen, and like it is instantly like better. So with all that long bit of almost 12 minutes of telling you my life story the past few months, I am feeling hopeful, and I am feeling so optimistic that I was realizing too the other day, well, it was yesterday, I was telling Jim, I'm like, we need to get out the seeds, and we need to figure out where we're going to put our starters this year, because the weather has destroyed my greenhouse. So I'm hoping he will. This is one that the greenhouse that I have is one that my daughter got me off of Amazon. It was like 3 tiers up, and it was high, like you could stand in there and let's see, is that better? You could stand in there and it did not affect, you know, anything. I could put my arms out, you know, front to front. And in the summertime, I always used it for like storing my dishes in a tote, because we eat outside all the time, and I have specific dishes that we use outside, you know, spices and coffee pot, because I have a percolator that we use a fire to cook coffee on in the summer, you know, just la-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. And then, you know, I have totes just full of all my potting, you know, my little starter cups and everything. And so it's exciting to think that I know I'm not going to be able to bend down to plant anything in the ground, or, you know, carry the grow bags, but our grow bags are pretty much so in a permanent place. Like we have one area of our tomato patch, you know, we have a pepper patch, well, regular, some hots, and like I do a lot of bell peppers, and I do a lot of banana peppers, sweet peppers, because I'm not a hot pepper person. I do jalapenos, and Draken loves jalapenos, but Draken also likes to eat the hot peppers because he watches the Spice King on here. I mean, I've seen it, and this guy just like downs like that. I hate to see what his stomach and intestines are gonna look like when he's older, because yeah, he's really destroying. I mean, he'll do the ghost peppers with ghost pepper sauce, and there's even hotter ones than that. I forget what they're called, but Jim grows like his Carolina Reapers. He grows his ghost peppers. He has his particular ones that he actually grows in a separate area, so that way we don't have to worry about none of the kids, because my grandkids like to go over and they're like, is this a sweet pepper? And I'll be, yep, and they'll just pick one off and eat it, because they all love peppers. And same with, I have to do a certain area of cherry tomatoes and grape tomatoes that are just for Josie and any of the little ones that run around, because they all like to just pick the tomatoes off and eat them. So we have certain ones that are just for the grandkids. And then we do the regular, but I do all sorts of different tomatoes. So I'm really hoping that I don't have to sit in a chair and wait for someone to get me this or get me that, or to do this or do that for me, where sometimes I sit and wait over an hour to do one thing that should have taken 10 minutes. You know, that I can stand at the grill, that I can clean up my backyard, because right now the kids have it atrocious and nobody cleaned it up before the cold weather hit. I mean, they could still go out, but it's just like my backyard is a mud pit. Well, right now, I don't know. It actually snowed, and we got like 4 inches of snow yesterday during the day, and it snowed heavily all day, and then until the sun started to go down. For some reason, the temp went up, and it turned to rain, and it was all gone. There was no more white stuff this morning, but the kids well, Draken had virtual school yesterday, so he didn't go outside. I don't think he wouldn't anyways, because I don't know. His lifeline is his Nintendo Switch now and playing Fortnite with his friends, or Call of Duty, whichever one. But yeah, that's my past week in a nutshell. Not being able to stay awake and not being able to finish projects that I want to have finished. So just a sneak peek of what's to come in my Everyday Grannies video, whenever that comes out in this next week. This here should be finished, but I had to wait till I could get someone to get my big mega box of yarn and find the blue. It's granny, and I have about 5 granny stitches to do yet till I'm done with that row of the blue. And then I just need to do the multi, which I believe is the Wildflowers by Super Saver. And then I'm going to have to do, well, I have to do 3 of the multi. I need to do 3 of the purple yet, then 3 of the multi, and then whatever I'm going to do for a border. So that is a poncho that I will show you guys, and I'm hoping to be able to do a tutorial on for you. And I'm also designing a shirt. I'm going to do a quick sneakers, because it doesn't really look like much yet, but whoop, whoop. If you want to see that, you gotta head on over to my Everyday Granny. Well, not go on over, but when I upload the video for Everyday Granny, I also have had a couple other Everyday Granny whoop, whoop, sneak peeks, huh? This one I'm not sure about. I don't know if I'll redo this one. Whoop, whoop, sneak peeks. I think that's all the sneak peeks that I have right now, because I've already shown you guys the heart granny square bag that I've done. And I know what I can show you. So it isn't grannies. I won't put in the grannies, but this I made the other day. I made a basket to be able to put all my rolled yarn scraps in it. I had a bunch more squeezed in here, but then it was just sitting so wonky on the arm over here. And I actually kind of I cleaned up the side of the sofa there. So I have the yarns that I'm going to start doing a shawl with this Moroccan Nights that I got from, I think I got, did I get that from Hirschner's or did I get it from Joann's? I don't know. I don't remember. I got it from one, it's probably Joann's, because it was, you bought 3 in the pack for a specific amount. So I'm going to start, just because I love making them, a virus shawl in this. So, yes, I got my area cleaned up. I got all the other stuff up here. All my yarn rolled in balls that needed to be rolled up. And all my finished items that I had, you guys have already seen. Which cat is... Oh, it was Piper. I don't have any crackers, sweetie. Piper will come to me for crackers, and I don't have any. I felt like this pawing at my leg. If it was my other cats, they would just went. She's still like, she's learning to somewhat trust me. Oh, every time I lift up the blanket here, because I have a blanket on the tabletop, because I'm going to do some tutorials in a little bit. But yeah. Well, I guess I've blabbed on long enough. Just catch you up with me video, and you have any questions for me, feel free to ask them in the comment box. Let me know how your week has been. It's Thursday and tomorrow's Friday. I cannot believe tomorrow's Friday already. I mean, I realized like today's Thursday, I'm like, oh my god, like this week has just vroom, flown by. Jim's off week for 5 days, so his first vacation day was yesterday, so he's, he's got a week off, and then he works Sunday and Monday, and then he's off for another round of how many days, because it was he either used them or he was going to lose them. So he took his vacation days. And my oldest daughter's birthday was on the 28th. So the 24th. What am I saying? Our birthday was on the 24th, and she's now a 28-year-old mom. And Raven's birthday, which is Jim's youngest daughter, just turned 20 on yesterday, the 25th. So that's how I could tell, like, I knew it today was the 26th. I have to make Raven a birthday cake today because I did make a special dinner for her, which I'll give you the recipe real quick if you want it, because I know I was just saying I was going to get off here, but I always find something else more to talk about, don't I? Yes. So everybody loves this dish that I make. So just rabbit trail first is we buy like the big huge pork loins, especially when they're on sale. We'll get a couple of them, and then we'll maybe cut 1 or 2 tenderloin roast out of it. And then sometimes we'll cut pork chops, but a lot of times I just like cutting the pork into cubes, and then I can put whatever seasonings I want in with it and just fry it up in a frying pan. And they actually are more moist that way than cooking them in the oven, or but anyways, I had a bag of the pork chunks because we just, bought a couple of the pork loins. And I will take a big, like casserole dish, spray it down with some cooking spray or butter, lard, whatever you put on in there. And then I dump like rice in there. And then I always have bags because I do plant a lot of bell peppers and, like sweet peppers and all that. So I can some, but then I also cut them up and freeze them. So I always have them in the freezer, and same with onions. So you take your frozen onions and your frozen peppers and you sprinkle that on top. And then you put some frozen corn in it. And I get these tubs, like this. And they're brown. And then it's like a beef base. I know you can get it at Walmart too. I used to have a subscribe and save through Amazon, and I would get one a month, and it got to the point where I have so many beef bases that I don't think I'm going to need beef base for a very, very long time. Plus I have a huge container of beef bouillon cubes. The beef bases pretty much show the same as bouillon cubes. I just think it's richer. Okay, so then I take some granulated garlic, and I also take some turmeric and some basil, and I sprinkle that on top. And then I take butter and I just pat butter around. And I also put the pork cubes in as well. Can't forget the meat part. Now, I used to just lay pork chops on top, and then each pork chop would get like the seasonings on it, and then we get a little pat of butter. But this time I just put the pork cubes through the whole thing and just put the, just put the butter in however. And then you fill it up with water. And you cover it with tin foil, and I bake it at 375 for about an hour and a half. And if you do the pork chops, it takes longer. I don't know why. It usually is more closer to 2 hours. I don't know if it's because it's the whole bit of meat sitting on top, and you don't get like the water ratio that you should get. So as it was done, like using the pork chunks last night, it was done in an hour. I mean, the rice was perfect. And the seasonings that I put in the rice, like I just told you, the onions, the peppers, garlic, basil, butter. My kids always think I use yellow rice. I'm like, no, it's just the turmeric that changes it, but it gives it that nice little bit of a smoky taste. So yes, cover your dish in aluminum foil. Let it cook for about an hour. Pull it out, check it. If your rice is done, great. And if your pork's done, your food is done. It is an absolute easy one dish dinner. I mean, you could change up the vegetables in it. I just like the onion and pepper taste cooked in it, and the corn. The corn gets really sweet when you cook it like that. So, I mean, you could always do like a peas and carrots if you wanted, or I don't know, whatever floats your boat. But yes, there is a recipe to add to all of you that might be interested in making something different for dinner one of these nights. All right, I am going to let you go this time. So I hope you all have a great day, a great evening. It is sunshiny here and it's warmer out today. Although when I look across the road and the sky over yonder, up north more, it's looking a little scary in the sky, almost like a really, really dark gray. But I didn't know like they were calling for any more bad weather today, so, or even coming up. I have no idea. I just know like yesterday, Jim said was nice because the yard was frozen. Because thank God, like I mean, it's for both of us, but I got us another car. I mean, just a cheap used car that a friend of mine was selling for $1,000. So we bought it. Runs great. And, well, it's a GMC Envoy. And a 4-wheel drive and everything. So that way, if we need to go somewhere, I don't have to worry about him trying to get his front-wheel drive car up through, like, the mud ruts. I can't even show you on here how deep the ruts are, you know, it's bad. But when I need to leave the house, I have to go out the back and he has to pull the car up, you know, to be able to get me from the porch through the yard to where we park the cars on the side. So, yeah, he's been nice. It's been nice with the 4-wheel drive that he doesn't have to rut it up anymore. So he has one of the big roller things. So I think one of these days he's going to take the roller and try to level out all the ruts to make it better and compact it in a little more. We'll see. You know, we're really hoping that one day we'll be able to get the heck out of here. Because landlord fixes nothing. But wants his money, you know. So, okay, I'm shutting up now. If this is your first time here, welcome. I hope you enjoyed my rambles about my life and how it goes. There'll be lots more videos coming up with me in this attire because I'm just doing a bunch of videos today. The house is quiet. Draken's at school. Jim's over at his house. He's probably sleeping because he sat up all night watching TV with me too. So if I know him, he's over there in his chair with his legs propped up, snoozing, watching TV through his eyelids. Because if you change the channel, he'll wake up and be like, oh, I was watching that. And he'll be like, sure you were. But, all right. So yes, like, subscribe, give me some thumbs up, guys, and leave me a comment. Let me know, what have you been working on? What has your week been? Have you had a great week? Have you had a bad week? Have you got sick? You know, because I know my middle daughter now has COVID, so, you know, she's not feeling good. She can keep that up at her house. I don't want it. Yeah. If I would get it, it would be from Josie bringing it here because Kira babysits her during the week. Although Kira is wearing a mask in the house, I don't give a crap. Those masks ain't going to keep it. You know, they say it sprays out and she's coughing a bit. So I actually was on the phone with her before I started my videos. So, do I have that painting? That's the other thing I wanted to show you. I don't know if it's here or if it's... What did I do with it? I have a painting that I started. This is it. Let me try to sit up, guys, here. Yep, this is it. I know, I keep saying I'm getting off here and I have something new. Just show you guys real quick. I started on this gnome diamond painting. So this is also what I've been working on more in the evening to help relax a little bit to sleep because that is very relaxing to me. All right, I'm out of here. Till the next one, guys. I love yous. Bye.